the foods that most people try when they come and visit France is a traditional French crepe. And while crepes are popular any day of the year, each year on February 2nd actually becomes an unofficial National Crepe Day, with people eating a lot of crepes. And to tell us a bit more about this holiday, La Chandeleur, as it's known here, I'm joined on the set by Joanne Carter from True Foodies. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Jeannie. Nice to be back. So I'm the co-founder of True Foodies, which is a culinary hub for food and wine lovers. And as part of the platform, we have video cooking courses.
So it's great to have you back, as always. As I was mentioning, La Chandeleur is coming up this weekend on Sunday. What is it exactly, and why is it so popular here?
So there are so many traditions and superstitions around La Chandeleur. It's incredible. But basically, it started off as a pagan holiday and to celebrate the harvest. And then it evolved into a religious holiday. And the story goes that Pope Gelasius I started the tradition of having a candlelight procession through Rome on that particular day.
So what does that have to do with crepes?
So there's a few different stories. The first one is that Pope Gelasius would hand out galettes, which are the savory version of crepes, to poor pilgrims that arrived in Rome for the procession. And then there's another story that goes that is connected to the wheat harvest. So eating crepes on La Chandeleur would guarantee that you'd have a good crop for the year. And then there's another theory that says crepes look a little bit like the sun, so it's about celebrating sunnier days ahead and the end of winter.
Okay, I like that one. Now, I was saying before, if any of you have been to France, you've probably seen a crepe, seen that they're served just about anywhere, but on February 2nd, the tradition is to make the crepes at home and in the evening.
That's right. So French families will light lots of candles and have a feast at dinner of savory and sweet crepes.
Okay, and before you talked about, there's this idea of the galette, which is the savory crepe. What's the actual difference between galette and crepe?
Yeah, so most of us know crepes as what they look like, and they're made with white flour, and they're usually served as sweet snacks, but they can be savory as well. And galettes are made with buckwheat flour, so they're darker in color, and they're almost always savory, and they're filled with ham, cheese, spinach, eggs, whatever you like.
And fun fact, if you're celiac out there, buckwheat flour is actually gluten-free. So if you come to France and you're celiac, you can eat a galette. All right, let's talk about cooking. You're going to show us how to make crepes. Now, regular crepes, a crepe au sucre, and then that great crepe Suzette.
That's right. So to get started, we make the batter first of all. So we're going to mix together the dry ingredients first, actually sift them together. So you have flour, sugar, a pinch of salt, and a little bit of vanilla sugar. And you sift all that together so it's well blended. And then the next step will be to add in 3 whole eggs. And you mix that together with a whisk a little bit, and then you start adding in your milk, 500 milliliters of milk, and you need to do that just bit by bit. If you sloop it all in there at once, it's not going to work. Okay. So bit by bit, and you keep stirring until it's nice and smooth, and then the next bit will be melted butter, so 70 milliliters of melted butter, and then, so we skipped a little bit, but you should let your batter sit for at least an hour, up to 2 to 3 hours. Then you heat up your pan, should be very, very hot. Add in your crepe batter and sloosh it around there so it covers the whole bottom in a nice thin layer. And then cook it for a little bit. Then you can loosen the edges with a spatula. And if you're talented, you can flip that over in the pan.
I know what helps, though, is having a good pan. That's so key.
Yeah, having a really good nonstick pan is very important. And there you go. Then you add in your sugar or whatever else you want to put inside, like
Nutella.
Else. Yeah, exactly. And then you fold it up, and it's ready to go. Yeah. So for crepe Suzette.
Right, the fancy one.
The fancy one, the fun one. So you start by actually caramelizing some butter and sugar in your pan, and that gives the outside of the crepe like this delicious flavor. And then, so you put in your crepe there, and you add in some orange zest because crepe Suzette has orange flavors. And then you're going to fold over the crepe and pour some orange juice into the pan and let that cook and thicken a little bit.
Right. Now, what's really fun about crepe Suzette, if ever you go to a fancy restaurant, is they'll make it at your table.
That's right. The waiter will prepare it right beside you at the table. It's a really nice French culinary tradition. And then here comes the fun part. You add in, or the waiter will add in, some Cointreau or Grand Marnier and light it on fire. And that's called called flambe, and then it's ready to serve.
Right. It's hot, but it is so delicious. That is such a great one. Now, just one more thing about the Chandeleur. I know there's a few traditions that people tend to do when they're flipping those crepes.
That's right. As I mentioned, there's a lot of quirky superstitions around the day, and one of them is that you should hold a piece of gold in your left hand while you're cooking the crepes, and then successfully flip one with your right hand, and that should guarantee you prosperity for the whole year.
Oh, I was doing it wrong. I was holding the coin in the hand that was flipping. Okay, that's harder.
Yeah, and then there's another one that's a lot easier, which is supposedly the first crepe that you cook on Le Chandeleur, you should keep it in a drawer or on top of your armoire for the entire year, and that should bring you good luck and prosperity.
All right. I do not think I'm ready to keep a crepe in my drawer for a year, but it does sound easier than flipping. Joanne, thank you so much. Joanne Carter from True Foodies. Remember now, if you want to get a closer look at that recipe or at any other recipe or cooking video, you can always check out the website, truefoodies.com. Thank you.
Thank you.